Good afternoon and welcome to Tea with Jess. Today I have my favorite Calamity mug, the cute one that my husband bought two of with the giant frog and Bigfoot and a velociraptor, and I think there's a robot on there. It's fun. You'll see streaming at the bottom of my screen the a little ticker box about the Ohioana Book Festival. It's running April 22nd through the 25th, and it's all online, and it's free, and it's panels about books and about writing and poetry and discussions. And so I really encourage you to go check it out. Some of the panels are live, and you just click that you want to get the reminder link to show up to the live panel. As Ohioana has pointed out, they're a small staff, so some of the panels will be pre-recorded. Mine will be, but it'll be premiering, if you will, on Sunday, April 25th at 4 p.m. The moderator is a wonderful novelist named Connie Berry, and the panel topic I'll be on is about historical mystery. So joining me will be two other historical mystery novelists, Nancy Harriman and Annalee Huber. So I hope you'll join us. We'll have a lovely discussion about, Connie has sent us great questions, everything about specifics, about surprises that we've had in researching our novels, how we think our historical novels might thematically reflect current times or not. Conversation like that. So if you love historical novels, and I know you do because you're here with me, come find out a little bit more about what we have to say. And if you're not already familiar with Connie Berry, Annalee Huber, and Nancy Harriman, it's your chance to learn more about their work too. And again, check out the whole schedule for Ohioana Book Festival. They put a lot of work into the festival every year, and they've done a great job organizing us to be online. Hopefully just one more year. We'll see how things go in the future, and hopefully there'll be some in-person events next year. But for now, no matter where you are, you can enjoy the panel, all the panels and all the discussions for free online. Indulge your inner book nerd. That's what I say. So today on Tea with Jess, I want to chat about houseplants. So I've had an iffy relationship over the years with houseplants. At one point we had, in our first apartment, once we moved back to our home state, we had a little cart that was filled with houseplants. And then they did pretty well at our next homes. The house we're in now faces north. So kind of dark, so it makes it a challenge to grow houseplants. But I think the pandemic really made us want more greenery inside, even though you can go outside and walk around and don't necessarily have to have a mask. We have harsh winters here sometimes in Ohio, and I think it's nice to bring in the outdoors as much as you can. So I've been having fun with houseplants. Here's one. Here's a couple from my, this is this interesting kind of fern. I can't remember exactly what kind of fern it is, but it's a hardy fern, and I thought a fern would do well. Isn't it cute? And I like the pot it's in too, in Ohio. And then, of course, the ever awesome snake tongues. So easy to grow. I have a huge one of these in our living room, but I have this little baby one in my office. So that's two of the houseplants that I've added to the menagerie over this past year. I don't name them anymore. I used to name houseplants. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for saying good afternoon. If any of you name your houseplants, I'd love for you to, whether you're watching it live or if you're watching it later, recorded. Just leave a comment about if you have house pants. Well, hopefully we're all wearing pants of some sort in the house plants. Goodness. If you have house plants, if you love them, if you have tips about them, and if you name them. So uh, I'm going to be chuckling all the rest of the day about house pants. So I wanted to share with you a little column I wrote years ago about house plants because it kind of describes my relationship with them. So here we go. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to try to read it off my computer screen, so we'll see how that works. So here we go. It's time for Harry's last rites. Harry is our 21-year-old Ficus benjamina. When we first got Harry, Rocky was our only other thriving house plant. Rocky is a pothos ivy, now 27 years old. By the way, I still have Rocky, and so that makes Rocky, golly, almost 40. That's amazing. So get a pothos ivy. If I can't kill a pothos ivy, neither can you. Anyway, back to what I'm reading. We bought Harry on a whim, a 6-inch sprout with a few leaves, and given my black thumb, expected him to keel over like all our other houseplants had, except Rocky. But Harry grew and thrived even after our cat repeatedly knocked him off the table. We just scoop up Harry and Harry's dirt and pack old Harry back in his pot. Soon, Harry became too big for his original pot, so I repotted him. The new pot was too big for the table, so Harry moved to the floor, whereupon the cat stripped off one of Harry's branches. I decided to plop this branch into Harry's original pot with fresh dirt, and amazingly, Harry Jr. was not only survived, but thrives to this day. Since then, Harry has outlived that murderous cat, rest in peace, kitty kitty, as well as 3 other cats, a guinea pig, a pet mouse, 3 pet fish, and numerous other houseplants. Harry has gotten along with our current dog and 2 cats, plus Rocky, Harry Jr., and Spike, and the Spikettes, Spike being a snake plant, and the Spikettes being starts from Spike. Harry has also survived 3 moves, oops, forgot to water droughts, followed by guilt-driven watering tsunamis, and a bout of fungus gnats. But last fall, Harry ended up with another case of fungus gnats. I blame the Spikettes for bringing them in from the back porch at the end of last summer. I applied the usual treatment, which took care of the gnats, but then Harry's leaves started drying up and falling off, so naturally I gave Harry a huge drink, whereupon Harry dropped more leaves. So I let Harry's roots dry out. Harry dropped even more leaves. So I gave Harry a more modest drink, and all of Harry's leaves fell off. That was several months ago. I've kept tending to Harry anyway, even though he's now just a bare trunk and branches. Several people have said, do you know that your house plant is dead? To which I've replied, that's Harry, and he's not dead, he's just hibernating. But now it is spring, and Harry's not sprouting any new leaves, and a few days ago, I started to admit to myself that Harry's time may be over, which made me upset. Harry was so healthy, and look what happened. And I told myself I was silly for getting so upset over a simple houseplant. Then I told myself, no, I have every right to be upset about Harry. After all, Harry has been part of my interior landscape for a long, long time. Finally, the words of someone in my Sunday school class, spoken as an aside to the topic at hand, came back to me. Something along the lines of, we forget in our times how fragile life is. We expect it to be the norm when it's really the exception. That was clearer when more people were closer to the earth, scattering seeds for a garden, for example, and seeing only a few come to life and bear fruit. I was glad to recall those words, to be reminded of how fragile and precious life really is. Now I can look at Harry one last time before Harry goes to the great arboretum in the sky and think Harry's life in the hands of a black thumb houseplant grower was unlikely at best, yet turned out to be a long and charming and lovely life. Rest in peace, Harry. So a bit poignant about poor Harry, my long gone Ficus benjamina. Actually, this house is not suited for a Ficus benjamina, not enough light, even with grow lights, which we have now procured for some of our other house plants. But yeah, it's just a little reminder that life is fragile and that we sometimes forget that. We've certainly been reminded of that this past year, needless to say. But maybe we need to keep that reminder, that lesson in mind, and bring it, nevertheless, even if they, aren't going to live as long as we are, house plants, to brighten up and put some green into our space and remind us of the earth and life and how precious it really is. And I really do. If you're a person with, not much growing ability like me, I recommend these lovely like snake plants because even if we want to call them the spikettes, um, they're pretty easy to tend to. And they're green and they're pretty. So that's some of my thoughts about my house plants that I'm sharing with you as I'm wearing my house pants. I'm cracking myself up. And again, please, tomorrow, I'd be remiss if I didn't share that tomorrow is the book launch day, book birthday for my friend Mariah Fredericks. Her new book, Death of a Showman, comes out tomorrow. It's also a historical mystery, fourth in her series, really good series. So check out Mariah Fredericks, Death of a Showman. I'll be giving shout outs to her tomorrow and links on her book pub day. So check that out on my Facebook page and whatnot. I'm really proud of her for her newest book. And if you get a chance, join me and my buddies at the Ohioana Book Festival for my panel, but also for all their wonderful events. And until next week, when I will be interviewing Mariah Fredericks about her book. Until next week, have some tea. Life is hard. Have tea. Be kind and gentle to yourself and to your loved ones. Bye.